Miyabiyama over judo man Toyozakura. Tochino Nada and Shotendo winners. Toyo Hibiki closing in on the judo title. His stablemate Goedo with a...
somebody's ID to see if they are who they say they are.
There's just one problem. Only 15 states have met this year's deadline to adopt Real ID. 27 of the states have passed laws or resolutions against Real ID. 8 more states have done nothing.
It becomes like a permission slip from school.
Chris Calabrese serves as legislative counsel for the American Civil Liberties Union in Washington, D.C.
Where things you used to be able to do as a free American, like vote and work, now suddenly you've got to get permission from the government to do those things through a national ID card.
But it's not the federal government. It's individual states that are collecting your personal information. And for the most part, those states are relying on private corporations to collect the data. Does that raise even more troubling issues?
It does. I mean, for the private corporations, this is like surveillance on steroids because they use it to make money.
And we're talking big money. The Department of Homeland Security estimates it will eventually cost nearly $10 billion to implement Real ID nationwide. According to the U.S. Senate Office of Public Records, the list of private companies wanting to participate in Real ID skyrocketed from 15 in 2001 to nearly 900 last year.
Now, who could be a part of this?
One of the leading companies benefiting from all this is L1 Identity Solutions.
We're suggesting by putting this card in front of someone that we are who we claim to be.
Former Coast Guard Commandant and Homeland Security Deputy Secretary James Loy was the first director of TSA. Loy now serves on L1's board of directors.
Oh, I love this. It took me like a couple minutes to get to the beauty part, but here he is, a former Homeland Security officer, Gitmo Nation, shut up, slave worker. And I think after 6 months, he left to serve on the board of this company that's now turning around and selling shit to us slaves. Now, listen to his clarification and his reasoning behind how cool this and okay it is to do this.
Our challenge is to make certain that in this public utilization of that data, it is protected.
6 months after the Real ID Act was signed into law, Loy left the government and now, as an L1 board member, makes money off the very program he helped create.
That's absolutely perfectly legitimate, and if I can help them do that and the shareholders of the company are beneficiaries as a result, so be it. That's part of a good American economic way of doing business.
That's right.
Capitalism at its best.
That's capitalism for you.
Play the douchebag thing.
It's unbelievable.
Douchebag. Unbelievable.
So I'm like, L1, huh? Sounds a lot like L3, doesn't it? So I figure I'll go look at L1. What is this company all about? Because, of course, this is where the news breaks down. The news ain't going to go any further than that. We've got to move on to some drama and some blood and, local,
Miley Cyrus.
There you go. Who had a horrible dress on, according to the fashion police.
Oh, just dreadful.
Just dreadful, yes. Oh, by the way, Sarah Jessica Parker, just horrible shoes.